I'm going to show you around the Skywell BE11. It's the long range version. I really like the back of this car. It's pretty cool looking, really. It's not like really boring or anything. The Skywell comes as a short range version of the long range, and in 4 colours. And the styling's nothing too exciting, but again, I really like the rear view. Rear 3/4 view is my favourite. Looks really nice. Sorry for the wind today, folks. Yeah, so nice lights across the back. And you can see the back of it lights up as well, which is really cool. And obviously when you open it, I'll show you this at night. That'll pick it up better. So these are 19-inch wheels. So they don't look it, but the wheel arches swallow them. So it's quite a large SUV. Not large as in the American ones like the Escalades, etc., but it's a good size. Lots of room inside, which I'll show you later. But full LED lights, front and rear, as you can see. Again, I'll just press the, there you go. The thing is, with Chinese cars, you get a lot of stuff on them as standard, and I really like that. The sun's gone in now, that's much better. But this colour's really nice. It's like a really dark purpley blue. It's really quite a classy colour, really. It's got panoramic roof, rear privacy glass, 19-inch wheels, automatic lock-in, boot sensor. You can just put your foot under there at an elbow. But yeah, quite nice really, and really like that. Coming around to the boot of the Skywell BE11, you can wave your foot under the rear bumper and it'll open. Actually works really well. You can do that in reverse as well to shut the boot. So boot space is actually quite large on the car, and comes with this protective mat. Underneath you have the subwoofer, Metz German engineered subwoofer, and your charging cable and tyre inflation kit. There's a 12-volt socket here, tether points for child seats, and a LED light in the boot as well. The seats do fold flat, but you have to fold the base of the seat up first and in order to fold them down fully. But quite roomy, and could certainly get a lot of gear in there. Carbuyerhelp.co.uk is here to help you find your next new car. After all, there are around 53 manufacturers alone to choose from in the UK, as well as hundreds and hundreds of models. It all gets very confusing, and you can end up easily buying the wrong car through a slick sales pitch and a nice shiny car in a showroom. If you're finding it difficult choosing the right one and find it overwhelming and stressful, visit carbuyerhelp.co.uk, visit the questionnaire, fill that in, and then we can go from there. So let's make choosing your next new car an enjoyable process instead of a stressful one. So let's have a look around the inside of the Skywell. It's keyless entry, and really nice wide front seats in this car. Materials actually feel really nice. It's got like a Alcantara type feel to it, and leather. It's faux leather, but it's still really nice. Nice wide centre console. I've got absolutely tons of camera gear in here, and it's just swallowed it all, and it's cooled as well. Love the seats. They look like very deep bolsters on the sides, but the seats are so wide, they're really comfortable. So even if you're a broader person, it's still very comfortable indeed. But let's have a look at the rear legroom in here, because it's absolutely huge. Again, tons and tons of legroom. Isn't someone over 6 foot could sit in here very comfortably. Lots of headroom as well. It's got a full panoramic roof, and these seats do recline as well. Again, nice and wide. And the great thing is, normally the person who sits in the centre always gets the raw end of the deal, because they're never very comfortable. But because this is nice and wide and flat, and there's no transmission tunnel with it being an EV, you've just got lots and lots of leg room, and you'll be able to sit in comfort in here. You've got rear ventilation, which is always nice to have. Got 2 USB charging points, as well as a plug charging point, so you can charge your laptop, etc. It just feels lovely in here. It's nice and quiet, and it's got a good speaker system, which I'll talk more about in a minute. But you've got like this faux wood on the doors with chrome, and actually the chrome looks quite nice, really. And the wood, while it's not real, it kind of feels real. It's all quite nice, really. Very scratchy plastic low down. They feel a bit cheaper, and they're marking easily already. But the rest of it, it's got like this Alcantara feel to it, and nice soft touch materials everywhere. Even the tops of the doors is soft touch. Let's go ahead and physically sit in these back seats now. Again, massive leg room. Look how much leg room, really stretch out. So the seats, although they are a bit flat, you tend to move about in them if you go around some sharper corners. But once you've got the armrest down, which is actually at a really, really good height, perfectly placed. I have been in new cars in the past where the armrest has actually been far too low and at a weird angle as well. So yeah, but plenty of space in the back, lots of headroom, and this panoramic roof makes a huge difference to the feeling in the back of this car. But you've got lights up here, and there's also, as you can see, ambient lighting down here as well. Nice smooth windows that go all the way down, which is always good. Nice and quiet once you shut the doors in this car. They've done well with the insulation. And you can see the view from the back into the front is really nice as well. The seats could do with being a little bit softer on this base. They are a little bit hard, especially at the back here. But they're at a nice angle once you've leaned them back. I think on a long journey you'd be quite comfortable. Again, Skywell, this could do with being a bit softer if you are paying attention to this video. But aside from that, tons and tons of legroom if that's something that you need. So let's have a proper look around. The interior. Okay, very windy today. So a really nice TFT screen here, and you can change this for a completely different display as well, which is cool. Obviously you see different information points there as well, and you've also got this huge screen here, which is really nice to have, and nice high definition screen on that as well. Not many buttons on controls as with many modern cars, but that's okay because this touchscreen system's really nice to use, which I'll demonstrate in a second. So basically you've got your gear selector here. It's got a 360 surround display as well, so you can put that into 3D, which is awesome, really cool. I like that. And then what I've found really helpful when I'm parking the car, you can select the view for next to the curb, and that has been really handy a few times already. It has got a self-park system as well, which I'll try and demonstrate, but you just press this to go back into park, and it automatically puts the electronic parking brake on as well. So nice big cup holders here, just a few buttons for the ventilation. The screen's very easy to use. The Skywell have done a really good job of making it sort of very intuitive. It's not difficult to use at all. So, as mentioned earlier, it's got this kind of wood effect, but I actually quite like it. I think they've done really well with the design on this car. You've got front and rear. It's also got 128 colour ambient lighting as well, which I'll show you at night. But again, just sort of the seats are really nicely done, and I actually really like it. It's got quite a short dash, which is good because it means your view is good out the windscreen. So let's go over the buttons on the steering wheel as well. So you've got cruise control set in here, and on this side you can set or you can look at your various information displays, and in this side it shows you your kilowatt usage, etc. You can change this for a completely different display, which is nice. Steering wheel's quite nice actually. It's not too thick, just sort of right amount of thickness, I'd say. The diameter's really nice, should I say. And you can control your stereo from this side as well. So if something's bad in a car, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm always really honest and upfront, but the good thing about the Skywell is when I got into it, the screen was so easy to use, and just everything makes sense on it. So you've got your controls for all your heating, etc. down here, and once you press this, it's very easy to use. It's not distracting. Sometimes these can be really annoying to use, but you can get to it really easily. It just makes sense. And just your temperature here. Now what I like is that you can just scroll across, which is cool. So right, if you drive and you suddenly want it a lot hotter, you can just scroll across quickly to get to it. You can change the vent direction here as well, your speed here or here. Again, you can scroll that on there. It's all very, very easy to use, and it responds nicely as well to your touch. Let's just do that, that's better. You've obviously got air conditioning and reheated windscreen and stuff up there, and then to go back to your main screen, you just press this. Very easy to use, I love it. To set up Bluetooth is very, very easy, and didn't take long at all. You can, what I like is as well, you've got the option to switch your Bluetooth on and off this system, which can be annoying. Some cars just automatically connect and there's no way to completely turn it off, but you've got all your EQ, etc. for your music, And actually the sound system in here is really, really nice. It's got a German engineered 8-speaker sound system with a subwoofer, and I like my music, all different types of music, so it's great to have a nice sound system. So on here you can just quickly do any settings you need for the car, such as your ambient lighting and also the hill descent control, things like that, and you've got tiredness reminder basically, etc. So you can also do your energy recovery, so when you take your foot off the accelerator, it'll decelerate at a certain amount of percentage. The more you put on, the heavier it will slow down, the quicker it will slow down. But all very easy to do, really, really nice. And you have got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for this car as well, but it's got a nice really easy to use navigation system, which is nice. So on the screen, a lot of people say this is complicated to use or over fussy, but it isn't really. And there's a few things you can do to make easy shortcuts on it. Didn't take me long to work this out, but basically if you want to skip to Apple CarPlay, you just press this. The home button's back here, and if you're driving and you want to skip between screens quickly, you just hold this down, so you can jump between your CarPlay, like Android Auto, and your other normal navigation, and then you can skip to your settings. The other easy thing you can do is, if you want to skip to some of the other options very quickly, like volume, instead of having to do it off a steering wheel, you can simply swipe right, and you've got all of these options, such as opening and closing your side mirrors, your audio, volume, screen brightness, Bluetooth on and off, and a host of other options such as downhill descent, control, boot open or close, and also self-parking as well. So there is a lot of stuff you can do off here, and it is a easy screen to use. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of the points that I think could do with improving should they bring out another BE11. This piano black tends to scratch easily, as you can see here, and even wiping it over with a very soft microfiber cloth causes this. That is an issue with piano black generally though, not just this car. I also noticed that the chrome, these bits of chrome that run around the car, they look really nice, but again they do mark easily, and I've already seen a few areas that have been marked with maybe some cleaning chemicals or something. So you've got to be very careful what you clean this chrome with. The worst thing about the BE11 interior wise are this area here. Just the buttons feel awful. They just feel really cheap and sort of clicky, and they kind of wobble when you press them, and it's the creaking as well if you listen. Just really not a nice feeling to them. I mean, this is Skywell's first car, but again, you can kind of see up here, it marks really easily, this chrome, and you have to be very careful with what you clean it with. The lights also, they're nice when they come on, but when they're off, they just look a bit cheap, as does this plastic. The rest of the materials are actually really nicely done, aside from this area at the bottom here, which feels scratchy and cheap. I mean, there's only a certain amount you can do with plastic on cars, and a lot of it does feel a bit very plasticky, but it's already marking a bit this as well, again. So that's the main bits that I don't like on the interior. And as well, these do feel not great either. They're okay, but I think they could do with some improvement. These buttons are a little bit small, and they also don't feel great quality either. I think these buttons could do with being bigger. I know that sounds sort of petty, but it's not. They don't have a bad feeling to them, but there are cars that are in a similar price that have nicer buttons on here. But apart from that, I think the interior is actually nicely appointed materials. Things seem to click really well. These buttons down here feel really nice, and yeah, it's just overall the cabin on it I think is quite nice. Nice relaxed atmosphere in the Skywell BE11 at night time. It's got the ambient lighting in the front and back. And that's really easy to adjust to. You just simply select vehicle control on the screen, scroll down, and you can adjust the colour and also the way it pulsates as well. So if we go to this door here, and then you can change the colours to how you want. It will sync to the music, and as well if you want it to, or you can just have it as I do on static mode, one colour all the time. So we're going to take the long range Skywell BE11 for a drive. First thing I really like is on the 360-degree camera, if you're at a junction where it's really bad to see out of, you can simply select one of these cameras. Turning to the right now, it's really difficult to see right down the lane, but that's actually a brilliant feature. So we have got normal drive mode and sports mode, and you can also control other aspects of it, such as a sportier brake pedal, feel, and also sportier steering wheel. You can also put that to comfort mode as well if you like. There's also an energy recovery mode, so when you take your foot off the accelerator, this controls how much regen strength there is. In other words, how fast you slow down. So I've had this car for 4 days now, and I've done a variety of journeys in it. Turning circle, let's just demonstrate it here. I was quite surprised at it actually, considering it's a long car. I was impressed. Okay, so let's try it. Yeah, that turning circle's amazing on it. That's really good. Let's do a timed 0 to 60 run and see how good it is, because I think it's faster than 9 seconds. I'm going to time this as I watch it. Okay. Okay. We will have to see if that's quicker. It feels quicker than 9.5 seconds. So the BE11 is around 200 horsepower and around 235 foot-pounds of torque. That doesn't sound like a lot, and compared to many other electric vehicles it's not. But the fact of the matter is that the power is more than adequate for what you need. It's got good overtaking torque, so if you're behind a truck and you want to get past on a country road, it's got adequate overtaking power and torque. Also cruises really well down the motorway. It's quite relaxing. As you'll see from my interior tour, these front seats are really comfortable indeed, and back seats are quite comfortable as well. Could do with a little bit more lumbar on the rear seats, but they're actually very roomy. let's put the sport pedal, brake pedal into sports, and that does actually make quite a lot of difference. If you've got it in normal comfort mode, it can feel a little bit spongy, but putting it into sports mode does give you quite a lot of extra bite. So we're doing 40, let's put it in sports mode. Yeah, that does give really nice acceleration, and with it obviously being an electric car, it's very smooth too. So what I have found with the BE11, driving it on country roads, the suspension does unfortunately feel a little bit too wallowy for our British roads. Our country roads tend to be a little bit rough and constantly undulating and twisting and turning, so the BE11 chassis and suspension could really do with being tuned for our environment. Some of the other manufacturers, when they were first bringing cars out, such as Kia, in their early days, they actually did UK specific suspension, as well as other manufacturers I know did that as well. And I think that the BE11 is just not really suited to our country road environment when it comes to handling. I'm not one of these people that think all cars should have, you know, really accurate go-kart like handling and stiff suspension. I think that can, in its own way, completely ruin a car. But the BE11 suspension is a little bit too wallowy for my liking, and it tends to lean about too much. And also, under heavy acceleration, the car also leans backwards a little bit. Sort of sits on its haunches. As I mentioned earlier, the accelerator is really sensitive, and this leads to less of a relaxed driving experience. If Skywell were to adjust via a software update the accelerator sensitivity, it would make a big difference. For driving through villages and towns, etc., the Skywell does actually feel quite refined, really. The ride's not overly firm, which is nice, and the steering's nice and light. And the car doesn't feel overly big either while you're driving it. It's not like, it doesn't feel like a huge monstrous SUV. It is quite a large vehicle, it's quite wide and long, but it doesn't really have that feel while you're driving it. On higher speed sections, the steering does feel a little bit numb. It's never going to be sports car like, and don't expect that from a large SUV unless it's something like a Lamborghini Urus. But the steering does tend to feel a little bit more detached than it should. So this roundabout, people tend to whip round it, and actually there's no one on it today, but let's get up to speed. So this is a 60 limit now. Acceleration always brings a grin to my face. It's actually a 70 miles an hour limit here, not 60. So you can see it gets up to speed really quickly. I mean, it states it's 200 horsepower and 235 foot-pounds of torque, but in actual fact it feels much quicker than this. It doesn't feel like 200 horsepower or 235 foot-pounds of torque that you'd get from a combustion engine car. It feels a lot more than that. With it being electric, it's instant acceleration. The car does sit at higher speeds very well, and it would be a nice car for long journeys. Doesn't feel stressful or claustrophobic in the cabin at all. Seats are very comfortable in the front. The rears could do with a bit more lumbar support at the back, in the back seats, but they're actually nice and wide and long on the leg as well, and they can be reclined, as you'll see in my interior tour. Just had to pull over, my camera overheated, so let's do an acceleration test again. Okay, so you can see getting back up to speed is no problem at all. Really good acceleration. So this is always a good corner to test it on. It's actually horribly banked corner, awful. The car's got decent grip around the bends and you can actually push it quite well through tighter bends, and the car sort of hangs on really well. What I have found is, as I just demonstrated, if you're having to accelerate hard out of a T-junction in sports mode, it tends to do a one-wheel peel, as they say in America, which is just spinning one wheel, and then the traction control will at some point grab. But I think that needs adjusting. Maybe a software update can do that. Hi. Welcome to the carbuyerhelp.co.uk YouTube channel. I'm Chris Davies, and today I'm in the cabin of the Skywell BE11 fully electric car. So the BE11 is the first car that Skywell has in the UK, and there are a couple more coming out hopefully in 2026, including a D-segment car which looks more of a luxury estate car, fully electric again, and also electric van. They may be doing plug-in hybrids at some point. Skywell is owned by a company called Skywell, a Chinese brand, who make sustainable energy products such as solar panels and wind farms, etc. And they have around a £7 billion turnover and over 30,000 employees worldwide. So they're quite a big company. The BE11 is their first foray into the UK and the car market here. In China, they're already established and have been established since 2020. I'm always going to be honest in my reviews. I'll give both the good points and the bad points, but I'll be fair as well. And to be on that point of being fair, I approached the Skywell PR team in the UK with a few questions about the car that I had that have been brought up by other journalists as well. The first question was, and my memory is terrible, so I'm just going to read it off my notes here. The first question was about the safety aspect of the car. Now, the safety aspect, the car hasn't been tested under Euro NCAP for the UK or Europe as yet. And the reason is that in China, they have the radar detection out the front, which is the ADAS equipment, which includes lane keep assist and forward collision, etc. They don't have that currently in UK cars, but no doubt at some point it will be updated with that. And that safety equipment makes a big difference to the test in terms of rating on Euro NCAP. But they have got that on their cars in China, but just not here in the UK yet. So Skywell currently have an offer on in the UK until September 2025 of the £6,000 deposit being paid by Skywell. So effectively you're getting £6,000 off the price of the car, which is huge. Not only that, but they're offering a free home charger with free installation, which is also a massive thing. I believe last time I got a price for a home installation charger, it was about £1,000. So that's also a good saving. On top of that, you also get £3,000 towards public charging, which equates to about 15,000 miles of driving. So overall, you're actually saving a huge amount if you go for that deal on the BE11 currently.